I'm Bruce Marshall. This is the Brampton Now Update for the week ending the March 20th, 21st weekend, 2021, the first weekend of spring. Coming up, people feeling like they're about here with lockdown. Liquor at 7-Eleven locations has become a white-hot political potato in Brampton. As the spring weather sets in, even cautious Dr. Lowe is talking about the needs of the whole patient, the one who is on the one hand vulnerable to the virus, but who is on the other hand going stir-crazy. Details on that and more coming up in this Brampton Now Update. Here's what's happening in Brampton. Peel's chief medic, Dr. Lawrence Lowe, doesn't like the signs he's seeing.
This uptick concerns me, as our decline has stalled and our trends appear to remain unstable. We also know that our hospitals are continuing to see steady admissions, and admitted patients are increasingly coming with the detected variant that are also seeing more severe illness earlier and also longer intensive care stays.
So on the data, things look grim. But the doctor is looking at treating the whole patient.
On its own, the uptick in our current viral picture does not support further reopening at this time. However, I equally know that everyone is tired. We all want this to be over, and I want to be clear, as I always have been, that your sacrifices have made the difference. They have saved lives and protected the vulnerable in our community and across Ontario. And I also know that many want to reopen, but they want to do so safely with the hopes of not closing again.
So even Dr. Lowe looking for some wiggle room on regulations, taking advantage of getting outdoors now the weather is getting better.
We are currently having active discussions that are exploring if we can maintain some of the protections afforded by the current measures that are in force here in Peel, but consider adjustments, particularly where there's an opportunity to leverage the outdoors for things such as dining and fitness.
Toronto's chief medic, Mayors Tory, Crombie, and of course Patrick Brown, all calling for some modifications to the grey level lockdown that will allow for more outdoor activity. On Thursday, the Premier echoed his support to the medics and the politicians in Peel and Toronto, calling for those modifications. However, officially, Brampton remains at the strictest level of grey lockdown through the weekend until at least Monday, as of this taping on Friday afternoon. So the outbreak that affected the Steeles West Brampton transit line and was traced to the Amazon facility on Steeles West was first noticed by transit operators who passed the message up the line of communication. Mayor Patrick Brown with his thanks for their service and their vigilance.
A week ago, we announced the closure of that route because it was our transit operators who expressed concern about feedback they were getting about Amazon, about a concern of a potential outbreak, and out of an abundance of caution, we canceled that route. We also had 3 cases of transit operators who had tested positive for COVID-19 on that route, 9 transit operators in the previous month. And although there wasn't a specific correlation between the outbreaks, it just shows you how interconnected our transit union is with the community. Because when the Amazon facility was shut down, it really was a verification of their concerns of this location. I want to thank ATU for being so interconnected, our transit operators being so interconnected to our community.
On the issue of supply of the vaccine, Mayor Brown is ready to give the jab. He just needs vaccine to put in those syringes.
The only holdup is supply. And I hear groups all the time saying, I want to be on this priority list. And I wish we could say yes to everyone. But the challenge is supply. It's supply, supply, supply. And until we get supply, there's going to continue to be people, residents, that deserve to be vaccinated, that have legitimate reasons of why that they're more vulnerable and need to be vaccinated. But unless we have supply, we're not going to be able to. And so I'm going to continue to echo those comments to the federal government that we really need to enhance procurement in a more timely manner to get supply so that our public health units and our hospitals can do the job that they are ready to do.
In a moment, who would have picked liquor licenses for convenience stores to be the hottest political potato of 2021? More on that next on the Brampton Now Update.
Mom, and it's so easy. Henry, what happened to you? You used to be a small, now you're a medium. This Avion comes to me in my dreams at night. When you're skinny like this, and you don't eat like that, it's so hard to tell that I'm standing in front of you.
We know confinement has been hard, locked in and isolated these past few months. As the country slowly reopens, the tourism industry needs your support more than ever. Whether you're looking for a staycation, a quick getaway, or a family vacation, consider an Indigenous tourism experience as your next destination. We have taken all of the safety measures to welcome you, and with over 400 Indigenous experiences open, we know that you'll find the right escape. Discover your authentic Indigenous experience at destinationindigenous.ca.
This is the Brampton Now Update. I'm Bruce Marshall. Liquor licenses for 7-Eleven stores has become a white-hot political potato in Brampton. Brampton Council now with a resolution to oppose liquor licenses for 2 7-Eleven locations. Regional Councillor 𝗕𝗿𝗺𝗺 and his colleague 𝗕𝗿𝗺𝗺𝗁 from the Wednesday press conference.
The city reviewed the application and considered all the relevant aspects, including the following: location and adjacent land uses, the potential for the presence of underage persons within environments of serving liquor, noise, loitering, and exterior lineups. With these potential impacts on public safety, Council passed a resolution to oppose the application.
How big a white-hot political potato has this become? Well, it seems you need the tongs they use for handling nuclear fuel rods. Regional Councillor 𝗕𝗿𝗺𝗺.
And we'd also like to point out the outpouring of feedback from the community here in the city of Brampton. We received thousands of messages, hundreds and hundreds of emails from residents here in the city, clearly indicating their opposition to this application, and particularly during a pandemic like this one, to have that much feedback from the community. This council appreciates your engagement.
And I pause for a moment for an editorial comment. If this is what Sevelev thinks of Brampton, maybe we don't need them at all. Maybe 7-Eleven are the kind of neighbors that we just don't want. Is it time we considered running 7-Eleven out of Brampton for being crappy neighbors who want to take advantage of our kids and the vulnerable? Maybe this is something we should think about in Brampton. In a moment, the Rose Theatre's free virtual programming continues with some shows coming up. More on that next on the Brampton Now Update.
Hey, Alan Doyle here. I'm stoked to be joining the gang at 𝗕𝗿𝗺𝗺cie 𝗡𝗨𝗃 on March 25th for their Muskoka Night virtual experience. Now, it's going to be a grand way to shake off the cobwebs from the winter and get ready for the summer cottage country season. Should be all right. Myself and a bunch of other awesome folks are going to be singing and reading stories and telling jokes and doing all the fun stuff. So get your tickets. It's all for a good cause. And I'll see you on March 25th. Cheers.
There are some things you just don't do halfway. Fighting COVID-19 is one of them. As vaccines roll out, let's keep giving this our all and continue to follow public health measures. A message from the Government of Canada.
Canadians are dying of overdoses every day. Stigma is making it harder for people to get help. Addiction is a treatable medical condition, not a choice. Help end the stigma. A message from the Government of Canada.
I'm Bruce Marshall, and this is the Brampton Now Update. While the box office has been closed at the Rose Theatre these many months, down on the boards they've been active, with shows streamed online. And those continue. The City of Brampton's Live from the Rose virtual concert series continues until April 10th. You have to book tickets to see the broadcasts at therosebrampton.com, but the tickets are free and available up to 10 minutes before each show. And that is the Brampton Now Update for this week. Please subscribe to the Brampton Now Update channel on YouTube or follow #MarshallMinute on Facebook for lots of Brampton need to know that you won't find anywhere else. Your comments and suggestions are always welcome, and if you've got a Brampton story to tell, get in touch with me through the channel you're watching on right now. Stay strong, Brampton. Brampton strong. We're all in this together. I'm Bruce Marshall. Thanks for watching Brampton Now Update.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.